Hi students, welcome back to today's class. Now we are going to see the new chapter, that is new unit, unit 2, self-management skills. Okay, so under self-management skills, we are going to see the following 5 sessions. First session is stress management, second session is self-awareness. Under that, strength and weakness analysis we are going to see. And then session 3 is self-motivation, and 4 is self-regulation, that is goal setting. Then session 5 is self-regulation. Under that, we are going to see time management. So let us move on to the topic, that is self-management skills. In that, first one is stress management. Okay, so introduction. Self-management, it is also referred to as self-control. Okay, self-management means self-control. It is the ability to control one's emotions, thoughts and behavior effectively in different situations. So in different kind of situations, we need to handle, we need to control our emotions, and we need to control our thoughts, and we need to control our behavior in order to handle the stress, no, or we need to control ourselves. Okay, in different kind of situations. This also includes motivating oneself and setting goals. Okay, so self management, it also includes what are the other things, self motivation and setting goals also. Okay, so people with strong self management skills are better in doing certain things better than others. Okay, so whoever is able to handle themselves properly, they will do their works in a proper way. So therefore, employers too strongly prefer people with good self-management skills. So employers too strongly, they are preferring people with good self-management skills only. Okay. So what are the basics of self-management? To perform well at work and life in general, okay, you must be able to manage and improve yourself in various skills, including discipline. You need to have uh, improve your various skills, that is discipline, timeliness, goal setting, problem solving, teamwork and professionalism. So in all these skills, in all these areas, you need to improve yourselves in order to perform well at your work also and in life also. Okay, so once you develop your personality and the abilities in these areas, okay, in the above said areas like discipline wise, time management wise and goal setting, problem solving, teamwork, professionalism, in all these areas, if you are improving yourself or if you are developing yourself, you will be able to succeed in your personal life also as well as professional life. Okay, in your working life and also in your personal life, you'll be successful. So you need to control all these areas. Okay, and following are the some of the skills you must master to succeed in life. Okay, so if you want to succeed in life, the following skills you need to enhance, that is you need to improve. So first one is self-awareness, then second one is responsibility and time management, adaptability. Okay, so these are the four skills you need to focus on yourself in order to succeed in your life. Okay, what is meant by self-awareness? Ask for honest feedback. That is self-awareness means realizing about yourself. Okay, that is only known as self-awareness. Okay, you should know about yourself. Okay, that is only self-awareness. You should know your strengths and weaknesses also. Okay, so whenever you are dealing with people, you need to get from the people honest feedback only. Okay, and gather insights on your personality. So that means clear understanding you should have about your personality and work specific proficiencies also. And think about your daily interactions and how you handle the situations well, or could have handled them differently. So how you have handled that situations differently, or how you handled that. So for that, if you are able to get some nice answers, no, then that means you are able to control yourself. You have a proper self control and you have proper self management also. Okay, so you need to think about your daily interactions, to whom and all you are speaking, how you are handling different difficult situations and all those things you need to analyze. Okay, that is only known as self awareness. And responsibility. So whenever any task is given, voluntarily you need to take up the responsibility instead of others to force you to take that work. Okay, so responsibility in the sense, taking responsibility for your tasks is very important. Taking ownership is the step towards the self development. If you are a self motivated person, you itself will do your work sincerely. Okay, so without without the others push, no, you'll be able to do your work. That is only known as responsibility. So taking ownership is the step towards the self-management. For example, if you have been assigned a task by a teacher, ensure you take complete ownership. So here you are taking, whenever a teacher is assigning a job, okay, assigning a task for you, you are taking your own complete ownership. Even if you are unable to complete the task on time, you must report it and then you need to correct it. So if you are not able to complete your task on the time, you need to report the task, how much you have completed, and then you need to correct your mistake afterwards. Okay, so that is only known as responsibility. And these skills also you need to improve in order to succeed in your life. And time management is important thing whenever we are assigned with a personal life work also, or professional work also. Time management is very very important. So you need to prioritize the things. Okay, you need to give priority. So for which work you need to complete first, which work you can complete second. So like that you need to prioritize your tasks. So prioritize the things you have to do. Okay, so remove waste and redundancy from work. Okay, so whatever is waste from in your work, and also whatever repetitive task is coming in your work, that you need to remove it. Okay, so you need to make a timetable, and you need to follow it diligently. Okay, so you need to make a timetable properly in order to complete all your daily works. Okay, and with sincere effort. Diligently means what? Sincere effort and care you need to give on your work, whatever you are doing it. Okay, whatever you are doing, in that you need to show your full care also, and full interest, and full effort you need to put. Okay, in order to complete your task in a timely way. Okay, next skill is adaptability. That means you need to adapt to your current situations. You need to change according to the current development technologies. No, you need to adapt. Okay, you need to change according to that. So stay current with the best practices, and read up on new information always. Always, whatever happens around you, you need to know thoroughly. That is a GK. It can be GK, or it can be any new technological innovations. If it is arising, you need to know what is going on. Okay, okay, so stay current with best practices and read up on new information always. So prepare yourself for new changes so that you can transition seamlessly. So in a continuous way or in a fast way, you can perform your work in a according to the new technology. You can able to transmit, you can able to transit seamlessly. Okay, so that is the importance of this adaptability. Okay, so these are the 4 skills you need to improve in order to succeed in your life. So next only we are going to see about session 1, that is stress management. Okay, so what is meant by stress? When the stress occurs, what and all situations are making you to stress? That and all we will discuss afterwards. We will discuss about what is the definition of stress, we will see. Okay, have you ever felt worried that you will not pass in an exam? Do you feel pressurized when people around you bring up certain topics for discussion, issues that you are not comfortable with? Okay. Do you fear that you will be unsuccessful in your life? If yes, so for all these questions, if you are saying yes, okay, do you feel pressurized? And you, whenever you have you ever felt worried, and you do you have fear that you will be unsuccessful in your life? For all these questions, if you are saying yes, then you are going under stress. Okay, you are going through stress. So stress motivates you to achieve more, but when you are under stress for a longer period of time, that is prolonged period of time, it can cause health problems, and also mental related issues, mental troubles also it will be occurring to you. Okay, so you need to handle whatever situations, difficult situations arises, you need to take up the things in an easier way. Okay, uh, so what is meant by stress? Stress can be defined as our emotional, mental, physical and social reaction to any perceived demands or threats. So whatever you are perceiving, okay, whatever demands you are perceiving, you are allowing inside you. Okay, so whatever perceived demands or threats, okay, for that how you are reacting. So your emotional, mental, physical and social reaction to any perceived demands or threats only called as stress. Okay, so these demands or threats are called stresses. Okay, so who is giving that threats and demands? Okay, those are called as stressors. So stressors are the reason for the stress. So outside people, mainly environment and related nearby people and relatives, families and friends, all those members only involved for making a stress. Okay. So for example, you are too close to the exams but feel unprepared. So your exams are nearby and you are not prepared at all. So in that case, automatically stress will be occurring to you. And you are experiencing a loss of someone close in the family. So you will be very close with someone in your family. If they are not available with you, okay, that time you will be experiencing a kind of stress. Okay. And you are worried about what people would think of you if you don't dress well, or if you are not able to speak confidently. So like that, some kind of inferiority complex, we will say, for that. If you are worrying about others things, other how they are thinking, so that is a kind of stress only. Then you are stressed due to lack of sleep. So if you are not sleeping properly for around 7 or 8 hours, no, so you surely will be getting stress. Okay, so these are the areas you need to improve. Okay. Then stress management. So stress is a part of everyday life. Okay. So there are many instances, examples when stress can be helpful. A fire alarm. So in some situations, stress will be useful only. So a fire alarm is intended to cause stress that alerts you to avoid danger. Okay. So fire alarm, when it will alarm. Okay. When it will give a sound. Okay, it is giving sound only when the some kind of fires occurs, no, it will be giving some kind of alert. Okay, that will be making a stress for you, and immediately you will be taking action against that incident, no. So that is a kind of stress that will be useful stress, helpful stress. Okay, so the stress created by a deadline to finish a paper can motivate you to finish the assignment on the time. Okay, so if the teacher is giving some kind of assignment, and if the teacher is asking you to complete before the time, okay, that is a kind of deadline for you. So in order to complete before the time, you will be writing fastly, and you need to think faster way in order to get the answers, and you will be writing the answers properly in the paper. So this is the kind of indirect motivation to you, for you to complete your assignment on the time. Okay, so this is also helpful stress only. But when experienced in excess or for a long period of time, stress has the opposite effect. So for a short period of time, if the stress is there, then you can able to, that is motivating you indirectly, it is motivating you to complete your task in the by the allotted time. Okay, so in the allotted time you will be completing a task. So that is a kind of a positive effect. Okay, so that is giving positive effect for you. But if the same stress is prolonged for a longer period of time, so that will be giving opposite effect. That means it will be leading to health issues or mental related issues and all will be occurring to you. Okay, and it can harm our emotional and physical health. So opposite effect, what it will do, it can harm our emotional and physical health also, and limit our ability to function well at home. So maximum limit will be having. Okay, so in order to complete all the day-to-day works, now we'll be having maximum ability, that is going to be limited. Okay, our ability is going to be limited because of this opposite effect. Okay, we cannot able to work well in our home also, and in school, and within our relationships also we won't speak properly. So these kind of issues will arise when you have a stress for a prolonged period of time. Okay, so managing stress is about making a plan. So how we can manage the stress, we need to make out a plan. Okay, and we need to make a timetable also. Okay, which time which work we need to complete. So we need to prioritize the works, and we need to plan properly. uh, uh, these are all important things for managing the stress. So managing stress is about making a plan to be able to cope effectively with the daily pressures. And the ultimate goal is to strike a balance between the life, work, relationships, relaxation, and fun. For all these things, you need to allot a time for a week or for a month also. Okay. So the main goal is to strike a balance between. You need to have a balanced scale between the life, work, and also personal life, and your professional work also, and relationship side also, relaxation, fun. For all these things you need to allot a timings properly. So by doing this, you are able to deal with the daily stress triggers and meet these challenges head on. Okay, so always keep in mind that that ABC of stress management. What is meant by ABC? A for adversity, or the stressful event which is making a stress. which is the reason for the source for the stress. So that is only stressful event, that is adversity. B means beliefs. Okay, so you have faith on some things. Okay, about it will be good, it is good, like that. You'll be having some beliefs about some things or some people or some persons. Okay, so that is only known as B, or the way you respond to the event. So how you are responding to the event. Okay, and consequences because of that response. No, if it is a negative response, or if you are responding nicely to the stressful event, okay, you will not be having um, that is the consequences. No, it will be positive consequences. Okay, so consequences are actions and the outcomes of the event. So how you are reacting to that event, according to that you will be getting some kind of motivation or demotivation also. Okay, and stress management can help you to have a joyful life. If you are managing stress properly, you will be having a joyful life, and you will be focused and complete tasks on time, and be a happy person as you are stress free. If you are managing stress, you will be able to live a happy life, and happy, you will be also a happy person. And you'll be more energetic and spend quality time with your families and friends, because you are managing time properly. Okay, and three steps to manage the stress. First step is be aware that you are stressed. First, you need to analyze about yourself, whether you are under stress or not. How you can get the information, and how you'll be knowing that you are having a stress. For that, look out the signs. Look out for signs of the stress. What kind of signs you'll be having in your body, such as headache, sleeplessness, sadness, excessive worrying, nervousness. All these things will be there in your health also. Okay, so only when we are aware, we can manage this stress. So if you are all undergoing these kind of problems, no, then that means you are under stress. Okay, you need to come out of that. So how to come out of that? That is step 2 is providing answer for that. Identify what is causing you stress. So for what reasons and all you are getting that kind of problems, above that problems. For that, you need to find out what are the sources for making a stress. Okay, find out the reason for your stress. Is it because of exams, or family pressures, or money issues, or not eating good food, etc., anything. So like that, you need to analyze from where we got all these problems. And third step is we need to apply the stress management methods. Once we come to know due to what reasons and all, we need to avoid those kind of things. Okay, so if you want to relieve from your stress, we need to avoid all these things. Okay, we should not take anything into our mind. Okay, that is the main thing we need to do it. So we need to use time management tools. If you are not completing your works, assigned works properly, like you didn't learn properly, for all these things, what you need to do is daily work, daily you complete it. Okay, use time management tools to manage your time well, and then focus on the important tasks and get them done. Okay, you need to focus on the important task, and you need to get them to be done fastly, and talk to someone close about the issue. Any kind of mental related issues, if you are dealing with, you need to talk to the people to whom you will be interested to share all your problems. Okay, so talk to someone close about the issue, and take time to relax by exercising. So for relaxation also, you need to spend some timings, like exercising also you can do, and you can watch movie, and any other kind of activity which is making you to happy, you know, that you can do it for your relaxation. And these are the some of the techniques you need to follow for managing the stress. First, we need to be aware of that you are stressed or not, you need to aware. Okay, and second, identify what is causing you stress. Third step is apply stress management methods. So what are the management techniques we can follow? First one is time management, then physical exercise and fresh air. Third one, healthy diet we need to follow. Positivity we need to have in our mind. Organizing academic life and no delaying. Sleep, proper sleep we need to have. Holidays with friends and family members. Okay, so all these seven techniques, no, we need to apply in order to reduce our stress. Okay. Um, so what is time management? Proper time management is one of the most effective stress relieving technique. So we need to allot timetable, and according to the timetable, we need to complete our professional activities also, and day-to-day activities also. And physical exercise and fresh air. A healthy lifestyle is essential for students. Stress is generally lower in people who maintain healthy routine. So healthy food and healthy exercises, if anyone is doing continuously, means they'll be not having stress. Okay, so stress is generally lower in people who maintain healthy routine. Doing yoga, meditation, and deep breathing exercises help in proper blood circulations and relaxes the body. So if you do meditation, yoga, and deep breathing exercises and all properly, that is daily in the morning time, if you do know, proper blood circulation will be there in your body, and it will be relaxing your body. Even taking a walk or playing in the park will help you to get a lot of fresh oxygen. Okay, so evening times you can play in the park, or you can take a walk in the fresh air. Okay, so which will help you become more active also. And healthy diet, so having a healthy diet will also help you reduce your stress. Due to overweight also, will be having a low confidence in ourselves. Okay, so we'll not able to do our work properly, because if we have a large weight. Okay, so eating a balanced diet in the sense that should give all kind of nutrients to your body. Okay, so vitamin A, vitamin B, C, and K, like that, D, like that. We are having lot of vitamins and minerals and all, no. So all these things we need to equally eat. Okay, so that is only balanced diet. So eating a balanced diet such as dal, roti, vegetables, and fruits will give you the strength to do your daily work efficiently. So healthy food only we need to eat. We need to avoid junk foods. Okay, positivity, focusing on negative aspects of life will always add more stress. So whatever incidents, no, negative incidents, whatever happened in your life for previous olden days and all, so that you should not think it of. Okay, so instead learn to look at the good things and stay positive. So whatever happened, whatever made you happy in past days and all, so that you need to always think about. Okay, you should not always think about the negative things what has happened in your life. Okay, you should be always thinking about your happiness, what and all happened in your life, that only you need to think continuously. Okay, so that is only known as positivity. Stay positive, keep your mind positive. So for example, instead of feeling upset over a scoring less in a test, try to maintain a positive attitude and look at ways to improve in the next time. So once you failed in the exam, or once you what you have planned you didn't achieve. Okay, so for that you should not worry. You should start learning nicely from the when you have heard that result. No, from that day onwards you need to start learning properly in order to get the highest mark in the next time. Okay, so you should not feel upset, or you should not feel worried, okay, for scoring less in a test. Okay, try to maintain a positive attitude that next time surely I will be the next top person. So like that you need to think in your mind. Okay, look at always to improve the next time. So next is organizing academic life and no delaying. By keeping class notes organized, so arranged way, in ordered way, you need to take all your notes, and finishing in assignments on the times. On time, you need to complete all your assignments, and keeping track of all the deadlines. So when we need to complete, which time we need to complete this work, which time we need to complete the another work. So like that, deadlines we need to track properly. So we need to check properly whether we completed on time or not. Okay, and by that you can reduce your stress to great extent. And sleep, proper sleep also needed for our body. Okay, so we should get a good night sleep for at least 7 hours. So night sleep only is preferred maximum. So if you are working continuously in the daytime, no, for a longer period of time, in between, just for half an hour or 1 hour, you can relax your mind. Like half an hour or 1 hour, you can maximum sleep. So beyond that, we should not sleep in the daytime. Okay, so we need to relax our brain in order to make it as a active one to do the next works, no, in a smoother way or in a continuous way. Okay, faster way. If you want to do work, you need to give relaxation for your brain. Okay, so we should get a good night sleep for at least 7 hours, so that your brain and body gets recharged to function better the next day. Okay, so if you want to work in a better way, you need to relax yourself, relax your body also, relax your mind also. Okay, so for that, how much hours maximum we need to sleep? 7 to 8 hours we can sleep. Okay, holidays with family and friends. So whenever you get holidays, you just allot some time for spending with your family members or friends. Okay, so going to your relatives place, such as your grandparents' house or a new place during your summer vacations, can help you break from the normal routine. So daily, if you're working like a machine, so your life will be like a machine only. So you need to give some relaxation timings. You need to spend some timings with your family members and friends. Okay, so you can come back as a fresh. Okay. Next is ability to work independently. So if you are a self motivated person, you can able to work independently without any outside motivation. Okay, so external persons, they no need to come and inform you that you need to complete this work, like that work like that. They should not say anything. Okay, outsiders, they should not force you to complete your work. Okay, so if you are a self motivated person, okay, you will be doing your works independently without any others push, outside push. Okay, so if you can become a calm and relaxed person, you will be having ability to work independently, which means becoming self aware. You know about yourself. That is only self awareness. Okay, both positiveness and negativeness, you will be knowing about yourself. And self monitoring, so where we are deviating, in which behavior, or in which area, no, we are deviating, whether we are not managing the time, whether we are not completing our work properly on time, any for any kind of negative incidents, whether we are reacting too much. So all those things we need to monitor. That is only known as self monitoring. And self correcting, so after monitoring, what we need to do, we need to correct our deviation areas. And also due to what and all we are getting lot of stress, that and all we need to remove it. That is only known as self correcting. So that we need to have. And knowing what you need to do, so you should know what you should do. Okay, in a daily life, what and all you need to do, that you should know properly. And taking the initiative rather than being told what to do. You need to take initiative. You need to start your work without any other persons. No, you should not expect other persons to say to complete that work. Okay, you need to take your initiative. And fourth one is recognizing your mistakes and not blaming others. So whenever your mistakes you are recognizing, you are identifying, you should not blame others for that mistakes. Okay, you need to self correct yourself. And then having the ability and will to learn continuously. You should have ability also, and you should have will also. Will means the interest, self interest. You need to have to learn continuously you need to learn something in order to learn new upcomings and all. Okay, and next is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to identify and manage one's own emotions. Okay, so we need to identify and manage our own emotions as well as the emotions of others also. So how other persons are reacting to our words, or how we are reacting to others words, all those things we need to know properly. That is only known as emotional intelligence. It is generally said to include at least three skills: emotional awareness, the ability to identify and names one own's emotions, whether any person is getting angry, whether I am getting angry when some kind of things happen in my life. Okay, all those things we need to know properly. So for which reasons and all I'm getting angry, I'm getting sadness, all those things I need to know properly. And I need to identify. Then harnessing emotions, the ability to harness and apply emotions. That is, you need to tackle and you need to apply the emotions to tasks like thinking and problem solving. So instead of wasting time by thinking about negative things, what and all happened, the negative incidents, what and all happened in our life, no, we need to control our emotions. That is only tackling our emotions. Like a harsh, we have some kind of plates, no, for that eyes. Okay, so it need to do its task properly without deviating from its work. Okay, so for that only we'll be having harness. Okay, so the ability to harness, we need to tackle the emotions and we need to apply the emotions for the useful things, for completing useful tasks. Okay, we apply emotions to tasks like thinking and problem solving. For these areas we can spend our timings. And then managing emotions, the ability to regulate one's own emotions with when unnecessary, when necessary, and help others to do the same. Okay, so whenever it is necessary, one's own emotions, no, we need to regulate. Okay, and we can help others also to do the same. Okay, next is knowing how to manage one emotions is critical for all of us. Okay, how to manage your own emotions, no, it is very critical for everyone. You can manage stress, Keep your brain active and open-minded and easily overcome failures if you can keep your emotions in check. So if you are controlling your emotions properly, okay, your brain will be active and you can be open-minded person, and that means you will be able to talk in a free way, okay, for whichever kind of situation arises. You'll not hide anything in your mind, okay, you'll be an open-minded person, and you can easily overcome your failures also if you are controlling all your emotions in a controlled way. If you are keeping your emotions, then you will be having all the above said qualities, okay. Emotional intelligence can also help you have better relations with your friends and family. So if you are able to, if you are having proper intelligence on emotions, no, if you know how to control your emotions, that intelligence if you have properly, then you have a better relations with the family and friends also. Let us take an example. Ravi and his best friend. So for emotional intelligence, we are going to see one example here. Ravi and his best friend Shiv have been practicing for the annual school dance competition. They are both performing solo. Okay, they both are performing solo only. On the day of competition, Shiv is winning. Okay, Shiv won. Ravi felt extremely sad and dejected. He shouted at Shiv unnecessarily, cried, and also did not talk to his parents for 3 to 4 hours. On the contrary, if Ravi would have been emotionally intelligent, means if Ravi was emotionally intelligent person, means if Ravi would have been emotionally intelligent, means he would have accepted defeat. Okay, whatever failure occurred for him, he would have accepted defeat gracefully and done better in the next competition. So he can do in a next better way in a next competition. So if he was if he would have been emotionally intelligent, means he would have been accepted all his defeats, okay, in a graceful way. And this is an example for emotional intelligence, how one person can handle, okay. Being emotionally intelligent enhances your chances of success and balanced life. So you'll be having balanced life, both from for defeat also and for success also. You'll not be having extremely nervousness or excitedness. You'll not be having when you are emotionally intelligent, okay. It will be improving your chances of success, enhances your chances of success. Some steps to manage emotional intelligence are as given below. So you need to understand your emotions, observe your behavior, and note the things that you need to work on, and you can then work on the things you need to improve, okay. So for what and all you are getting angry, you are getting sadness, you are getting worried, all those things you need to analyze. You need to observe your behavior, you need to keenly watch your behavior, how you are reacting for different kind of situations, for different kind of people's words, how you are reacting. You need to analyze about yourself, okay. Then rationalize. Do not take decisions abruptly. Abruptly means immediately you should not take any kind of decisions. Be rational in your thinking. So whenever you get failed in your exam, even nowadays we are seeing many TV channels, no, many persons are dying due to the fear in exam, okay. Mainly NEET exams and all, many students are killing themselves, okay. So that should not be there. So if they are not emotionally intelligent persons, surely they'll be doing like that only, okay. So if you are emotionally intelligent person, you'll not be taking decisions like that, okay. So you should not take decisions abruptly. Be rational in your thinking, so next time we can win, okay. For that, what kind of activities we need to do, how we can plan, so how we can make a timetable. According to the timetable, you need to start preparing yourself. So for like that, you need to manage your timings, and you need to plan and prioritize the tasks what you need to do in a daily life, okay. So that rational thinking you need to have. And next is practice. Do meditation and yoga to keep yourself calm, okay. For a fraction of second or for a few seconds, you just relax yourself and make your mind to be calm, okay. And automatically you'll be get relief from your emotional problems, okay. So practice means we need to do meditation and yoga to keep ourselves calm, okay. So all these things if we are having means we can manage our emotional intelligence in the by the following methods, okay. So next we will see session 2 in the next video, that is self awareness, strengths and weakness analysis. How we can analyze our strengths and weaknesses, that we will see in the next video.